So as you can see, the grass is a bit long. We're getting into summer, and last week all this grass was kind of, well, mostly green, but now the heat's really started to come. And everything's starting to brown off, which really means I should have done the lawn a while ago, but I haven't. Well, when I say I should have, I mean really Sarah should have, because in our family, Sarah is the one that mows the lawn. That's her job. So yeah, it's not my fault. But the thing is, it is my fault. And the reason it's my fault is because we don't have a lawnmower. And I said, well, your uncle's got that scythe in the shed. I can get it working for you. And Sarah thought that was a great idea. Now I should have taken a before shot, but I've had this in the electrolytic bath and it's starting to come up well. So I reckon we're going to take this out, give it a bit of a scrub and see how it comes up. Oh, look at that. That's looking fabulous. I'm going to put this in the electrolyte bath and just see if we can get these nuts unseized and get the rust off this part of the blade. And ideally what I want to do is take the scythe off the snake, these are called, that's what a handle scythe is called, a snake. And then I can sharpen it up. Oh, it's pretty good. It looks like most of the work's been done for us. It's getting better. Most of the work's been done for us by the electrolysis. The real test though will be whether this nut undoes. Now, I just saw this when I was editing, but look at the black of the blade of the scythe where the rust has been removed, and then look at the still rusty attachment hardware to the snake. And that happens because there's not a good connection between the metal of the scythe blade and some of the other parts. So those, you'll see this later, but those parts need to go back in the electrolytic bath to to remove all of the rust. Alright. Now, truth be told, that was a lot easier than I was expecting it to be. Look at all that muck. See all that's just rust that's come off through the electrolysis that was caked onto that nut. So there was no way would have got that undone without doing the electrolysis first. So an impact driver or a rattle gun is really good for this sort of thing because the short, sharp action of the tool cracks the seal in a rusted screw or bolt or nut. Once you get it moving, it's really easy to get it undone, but the thing is getting it moving the first time. And even after electrolysis or some other rust removal technique, it can be quite hard to get that initial movement. Once you're going, no problem. But yeah, impact drivers are great for this thing. Well, we've now revealed there's a maker's mark here. Yeah, I can't get the camera to focus. It's something and something. W something Sons and Sheffield. Put this bolt back in the electrolyte bath and clear it up some more because that hasn't cleaned up anywhere near as well. I had intended that this would be one video, but some of the sneak previews of photos and stuff that I've been putting on Facebook led to some questions about how I was actually doing the electrolysis. Now, there's lots of links and videos on how to do this on YouTube, but the way I do it is absolutely cheap as chips. And what's running it is a wall wart. Now, this is one that is actually dead, and I'll get to that in a sec. But you've probably got a bunch of these lying around your house that you're not using. All I did was cut the plug off it, and replaced it with some plugs so I could swap it in and swap it out if I ever wanted to. Then I connect the negative to the line that is going to be attached to the parts. So it's a line coming in from the power supply, and then this screw connection gang to take the power in and then split it up so I can do multiple tools at the same time with a range of different clips. These little clips are great for small parts, and then bigger clips for bigger parts. The positive line goes around the back to another gang of screw connectors, and then is divided up and into connecting to these sacrificial add-ons. Now this is an important thing. Some people suggest that you use stainless steel for this because stainless steel will create an electrolytic bath that isn't messy and mucky like this. It'll keep the water very clean. The water won't go mucky, but it will be incredibly poisonous, as all the cadmium in the stainless steel is leached out. So I think it's cadmium 6, and it's seriously poisonous and carcinogenic. So yeah, bad news. Do not use stainless steel. If you want clean water, then spend some money and get some graphite anodes, because they'll also be clean. They're also not sacrificial. They just allow the electrons to flow without being destroyed, so it's handy. But these are formula tins from the formula that my eldest son gets because of his medical condition. So we're going through almost one of these tins a day. So we've got lots of them. Like, I'm using them for screws, I'm using them for all sorts of stuff. And so whenever one gets a bit dodgy or a bit sad, like this one's almost had it, I just take it out and swap another one in. Point though is make sure that the clips are not in touch with the electrolyte, because if that happens, they will die. Oh yes, now I mentioned that this power supply is dead. Right, so what the solution to that is, you just get a timer. I've got this set for 45 minutes on, 15 minutes off for half the day, and that works brilliantly. Just gives the time for the power supply to cool down. I know these are rated at 24 hours, 24-hour continuous, but they're not rated for electrolysis. And I've had a few of these wallwarts die, which isn't a problem because they were just sitting around. I was going to throw them out eventually. But if they don't have to die, then this little timer is a great way to just give them, just to keep them going. And it also means that you stick some tools on to derust, and you don't come back and find they're not done because your power supply has died. But yeah, that's it. It's a very simple process. The electrolyte. The electrolyte is just water and baking soda. So in this 40-litre tub, I think I'd put in 250 grams of baking soda. You don't need a huge amount. Throw it in there, swirl it around, and that's it. So I don't think there's anything else to tell you. It's, like I said, it's really, really simple, and when it comes to rust removal techniques, it's the most gentle because it only removes rust. Now there's various other treatments based on acid removal which work really well, work really quickly, or can work really quickly, but you also take away metal as well as the rust. Even other techniques like using molasses, which is also incredibly gentle, still you lose a little bit of metal. Not when you first use the molasses. When the molasses is fresh, it's an incredibly gentle technique because it only removes the rust, but it doesn't take very long for the molasses to start fermenting. You get alcohol in there, you get the alcohol then ferments into vinegar, and then you've got an acid. And the other thing is, molasses is incredibly expensive compared to a wallwort and some baking soda. So yeah, this is the best method by far, and it is so simple. So yeah, I hope that enjoys, and stay tuned for the next video where I'll actually be sharpening that scythe blade and getting it all ready for Sarah so that she can get the lawn cut. Now, when I was doing this before, I made her laugh, but it was the laugh of "you're so in so much trouble" laugh. And now she's standing there and she's just brought me out my breakfast. So
You might wear it.
okay, see you later, guys.